very much, everyone, for joining us for this pre-match press conference ahead of New Zealand-Pakistan. Tomorrow, we're joined by Kane Williamson, captain of New Zealand.
Yes, Williamson, this is Moisha from Pakistan. How do you rate Pakistan's victory against India, and what you expect from Pakistan tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic performance. I think Pakistan have come to the T20 World Cup full of confidence, having played in these conditions more than most, and they certainly put it on show last night and showed why they're one of the favourites in the competition. And tomorrow, I'm sure they'll be very strong again. And so for us, it's focusing on the cricket that we want to play. And trying to adjust to conditions. I think we'll see throughout this tournament at the 3 different venues that each venue will probably play a little bit differently. So that'll be an important factor for us.
Shahid, if you'd like to go next. I'll also put the next question in the chat, guys, if you keep an eye on there. But Shahid, you can go next.
Yeah, Ken, good evening. The circumstances under which New Zealand abandoned the tour of Pakistan were unfortunate. Of course, New Zealand acted on government's advice. But do you feel there will be some acrimony, sort of a grudge match for Pakistan?
Like you mentioned, it was a really disappointing, situation, and I know the team that were there were very much looking forward to the occasion and playing cricket over in Pakistan, and it was a real shame that it wasn't able to go ahead. Having said that, I suppose the focus now is here at the T20 World Cup, and no doubt after last night's performance, Pakistan have some momentum and are feeling pretty good about their cricket. But there are also a lot of good relations within the two teams over the years. We've played a lot against each other, and a number of players have played with each other as well. So I'm sure it'll be played in the right spirit. But no doubt Pakistan will be well supported, as they always are here in the UAE.
Hi, Kane, can you hear me okay?
Very quietly, actually.
Just to start with, are you expecting to have quite flexible batting lineup throughout the tournament, or do you expect to settle on some fixed roles early on?
Yeah, we want to be open-minded. I think with these 3 venues playing quite differently at times, we want to be flexible in our approach, and that is important to us as a team, especially a T20 side. It's trying to make those adjustments and those changes in real time. So, as a unit, we want to be prepared to do that.
And just to follow up, you mentioned the venues. What did you learn about playing in Sharjah specifically from the IPL?
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly a bit of a challenge in terms of any rhythm and fluency with the bat, and with the ball. There was some, a lot of plans that went in place to try and combat that. And often you go to Sharjah, and historically the surface has been very good and it's been very high scoring. So we've sort of seen 2 ends of the spectrum there, and I think it's important to go there with an open mind. We saw a good game of cricket there yesterday, and there was some high scores as well. So, but yeah, the most recent experiences there is it's sort of been somewhat of a challenge and quite a scrappy sort of surface. So we'll have to wait and see.
Thanks very much.
Osman, you're next. I'll just put your name in the chat if you can keep an eye on that, guys, for the next question.
Hello, Kane. First of all, please tell me, how do you see the Pakistan bowling lineup and the strength of batting? Because Pakistan in the past has proved to be a bowling dominant side. Now their batting is also clicking. Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan is playing like they are just made for the cricket.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a very well balanced side, and also a great mix between youth and experience, with Muhammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik in the middle order as well, which bring a lot of experience to the side. And you mentioned Rizwan and Baba at the top of the order, who have been formidable in terms of their partnership and the quality that they bring. So a very well balanced side, and also a side that's very accustomed to the conditions and playing cricket here in the UAE. So without a doubt, they're coming into this tournament feeling pretty good about their chances. But having said that, in tournament sport, and particularly in T20 cricket, every team, I think, turns up with confidence, knowing that on their day anything can happen. And for us, it's about focusing on the style of cricket that we want to play, which is important to us as a team. But we know we're coming up against a very strong team in Pakistan. And I think every opposition that you play against, you prepare as well as you can to take them on at their best. And we saw the best out of Pakistan in their last match against India, which was a fantastic performance.
Hi, Kane. There were a few injury concerns last week. Is everyone available for selection? And how is your elbow? There's been a few, but I believe everybody currently is fit or fit enough. And my elbow's improving. It's just been an ongoing sort of challenge to deal with it regarding loading and these sorts of things. So it's just a work in progress, but I think all in all, it's showing improvement, which is good. And has the team had any particular training to deal with the conditions, such as dew, which may be expected in some venues?
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw that also at the back end of the IPL as well, where it did become a factor. So no doubt it will be a factor throughout this tournament. And, as a side, we've been trying to prepare as well as we can. And I think largely, those sorts of, elements of the game are often dealt with in the moment. And sometimes, the surfaces that you train or the conditions that you have to practice with don't perfectly marry up. And that's just the nature of what we do. So as a side, it's trying to rely on the experience that is there and share that to sort of take on those added challenges with conditions.
Okay, guys, we don't seem to have any other hands up there. Is anyone else would like a question, or has Callum from the media centre got a follow-up?
Yeah, I've just got a couple of questions, Kane. Thanks very much for joining us. So being one of, if not the last team to feature in their first game at the event, how does that force you to reassess strategy and approach, having seen the other teams that have already played at the event?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen sort of a match or two at Sharjah, I guess, specifically. Haven't thought too much about where we were and coming out to play, except from our preparation and how it is we want to, adapt to conditions against naturally the opposition that you're coming up against from game to game. So, that's still our focus, and it's nice to get going and start tomorrow.
Great. And just finally from me, obviously having won the inaugural ICC World Test Championship final in June, how does that victory boost the team's confidence ahead of this event?
I mean, naturally different formats, but a great moment for cricket in our country, and one that we truly cherished, and as we know, with the schedule and the international format, there's sort of always something else coming up. So we really enjoyed that moment, but also the focus changes and things are different with the different formats and a different side largely as well. So something we really enjoyed, but the challenges come thick and fast, and we're here in the UAE with very much another challenge on our minds, and something we want to put all our focus into.
Great, thank you very much. That's all from me.